Hey guys, what's up? It's your buddy Roo and I'm back with a brand new edition of World of Roocraft. Last time we talked about the dwarves of Ironforge, and today I want to talk about the goblins of Gazan. Right now there should be a nice little graphic telling you what classes you can pick as a goblin. I hope you like it. It took me almost a minute to put it together. Let's have a look at the goblins' racial traits. The goblins may have one of the most fun racial traits. It starts off tame with a 1% increase in your haste status and a permanent gold discount for every purchase. Things get more interesting with a personal bank teller and a permanent 50 points bonus on the alchemy profession. Things become really crazy with the rocket belt, which allows you to fire a barrage of missiles at your enemies, and last but not least, there's the rocket jump ability. One thing I have to mention before we start. Just like with the Worgen, you won't be able to leave the goblin starting area until you played through the whole storyline. And that one can take up to 5 hours, so keep that in mind before you start playing. Great, so let's head over to the part you all love, the one where I explain stuff and mispronounce names. Just like the dwarves, the goblins' history goes way back. You see, there once was a guy named Mimiron. Mimiron was one of the Watchers created by the Titans to help them fight the old gods. This Mimiron fella got bored one day and decided to test a mineral called Karjamite on a race of little green guys. This mineral caused a change in them, and the constant consumption of this mineral boosted their intelligence, and thus the ancestors of the goblins were born. These proto-goblins later went on to aid the mad dragon Nilfarion in creating the Dragon Soul during the War of the Ancients. Hang on, that name doesn't sound right. Let me try that again. These proto-goblins later went on to aid Deathwing in creating the Dragon Soul during the War of Ancients. Ah, see, that's much better, isn't it? Then the Great Sundering happened, and the goblins were cut off their supply of Karjamite. Generations later, the goblins lost their intelligence and forgot about the Karjamite too. They also took refuge on the Isle of Gazan, not knowing that the isle sits on an enormous Karjamite mine. Enter the Sandalari Trolls. These guys discovered Gazan and the Karjamite and decided to enslave the goblins to mine it. Years passed, and thanks to the repeated exposure to the Karjamite, the goblins regained their high intelligence and liberated themselves. To celebrate their new freedom, they turned on themselves and split up into different groups, the so-called cartels. These cartels set out into the world looking for treasure and wealth, and some of them even found their way to Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdom. After years of fighting, these cartels brokered an uneasy truce. With the supply of Karjamite running low once again, the goblins lost part of their intelligence once again. They decided to now turn their attention to trade and the pursuit of wealth, and turned Gazan into a booming trading hut. Most of the goblins remained neutral in the conflict between the Horde and Alliance, but since they love gold more than anything else, it wasn't uncommon to see a goblin mercenary in the ranks of the Alliance and Horde. Today they still work on the goal of getting rich or die trying, and Gazan is ruled by a group of trading princes. I wish there was more I could tell you, but that's all there is to the goblins. So I spent the last 20 minutes trying to figure out how to introduce our goblin character, and I just couldn't find the right words. What I got is this. We are part of the Bilgewater Cartel and the CEO of the Kajaro Trading Company. KTC is making Kajar Cola, a beverage mixed with the brain power increasing Karjamite. We are about to introduce our product to the citizens of Gazan, and to do so, we are throwing a party. And I really want to give you an abridged version of the next events, but they are just too crazy. You have to play it for yourself. What I can tell you is this. You will check by your Karjamite mine and encourage your troll workers. Wait, that sounds familiar. Next up, we pick up our entourage and collect protection money. I mean, protection macaroons. Yeah, the goblins are calling the currency macaroons. And I have to mention it now, because otherwise it won't make any sense later if I bring macaroons up again. And things are really going crazy as you are scoring the winning goal for your foot bomb team and Deathwing shows up. This is just too crazy. I need a break. Hang on. Let's watch a funny cat video.
Cat? I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance.
Fuck! Our party finally happens, and everything's great. Until pirates crash the party. Turns out that the trade prince Jester Gallywix hired them to crash it because we didn't invite him. Don't ask me, it gets even weirder. Turns out that Deathring didn't just drop by to say hi. He also woke up the dormant volcano Mount Kajaro, which is going to explode and destroy Gazan every minute now. But don't worry, Gallywix is offering us a way off the island. We just have to pay him a bazillion macaroons. How do we get that much money? Well, we break into a bank and engage in insurance fraud. I'm not kidding, you actually do that. But things go from bad to worse. As we reach Gallywix's yacht, he fucks us over, takes our money, and sells us and our friends into slavery. Now on our way to Ashara, our ship gets sunk as we get into a firefight between the Horde and the Alliance. Lost on an uncharted island, we now have to gather our bearings and fight for our survival. While exploring the island, we come across a dead orc and his journal. From this journal we learn that they also shipwrecked, and we set out to offer the surviving orcs our help. They gladly accept it and task us to recover a precious cargo which got lost in the firefight. And would you believe it? This cargo turns out to be Thrall. See, that's one of the things I really like about World of Warcraft. Blizzard manages to tell this overarching story throughout the whole game. Back in our Orc review we talked about how Thrall left Orgrimmar and his post as war chief to investigate the Cataclysm. And there he is, interacting with the Goblins during this journey. I think that's pretty neat. But let's carry on. We decide to help the Horde in the fight with the Alliance, and after our work is done, we have to worry about a new problem. Trade Prince Gallywix survived the shipwreck too, and is now forcing our friends to work in one of the island's Khagamite mines. So we free our friends, and with the help of Thrall and a mecha suit, don't ask, we defeat the Trade Prince. Gallywix sees the error of his ways, and the Bilgewater cartel joins the Horde. Thrall also sends us to Orgrimmar to talk to Garrosh Hellscream and officially join him and his forces. Yeah, that isn't Garrosh. Oh, no, not again, game. You bamboozled me the last time. There we go, there he is. So what did I think about the Goblins and the starting zone? I loved it. It's just so goddamn crazy. This was the first time I played as a Goblin and I could kick myself for not having done it earlier. I mean, you get your own goddamn trike to cruise around Gazan, and you blow up your own building to commit insurance fraud. The chaotic and crazy nature of the Goblins is perfectly captured, and I think Blizzard just went, you know what, fuck it, we'll just run with it. I could tell you about all the crazy stuff you do, but that wouldn't do it justice. So why don't you check out this little compilation I made for you. And that's all I have for today. Next time we will turn our attention to the Draenei. See? I finally pronounced them right. If you enjoyed this review, let me know by hitting the like button or leaving a comment. If you feel especially generous, consider sharing this video or subscribing to the channel. This is Drew signing off. Bye bye.